Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 3.13, assignment operators. This is the fifth category of operators. So far I have introduced four categories: arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, unary, incrementation and decrementation operators. This is the fifth category operator, assignment operator. Actually, only one assignment operator, that is this one. Actually, I am going to introduce 11 more. Those are compound assignment operators. I am going to explain a little later. And this is a very frequently used operator, because whatever evaluations you make by using expressions, ultimately you store the result in one of the variables. So for storing the final result or assigning some value, uh, we must use this assignment operator. Its format is like this: variable and expression. This expression may be a simple expression or it may be a complex expression. And here always you must remember this side, this left hand side, always there is only one variable, nothing else. You should not write anything at all. Only one variable you have to write, and the result of this expression is assigned to that. It is stored in this variable. So the now let us write some examples. Now you see int a 25. This is simple, a constant we have written. This is stored in that. And int area 3.14 into 10 into 10 pi r square, pi r. This type of expressions you can write. If you write this type of expression, the expression is first evaluated, and ultimately its value is 314, that is stored in area. 304 is stored here. Okay, and one more also, int or otherwise float, simple interest. This is p into t into r by 100, ptr by 100. Now this is evaluated, this 20 20 200 200 is assigned, is stored in this variable. Understand? In this way, always remember that. And the format is variable, assignment operator, expression. Of course, we may call it as equal to, but it is not mathematically equal to. It is assignment operator, and the expression may be a simple expression or any complex expression. It may be too lengthy also. Then this is first evaluated. The resultant value is assigned to the variable on the left hand side. Always remember that variable, this is on left hand side, only single variable should be there. Otherwise the statement, the assignment statement, will be illegal. This point you must remember. And thereafter I am going to introduce compound assignment operators. You know this only. What are the compound assignment operators? There are 11 compound assignment operators, that is plus equal to, minus equal to, multiplication equal to, division equal to, modulus equal to bitwise AND equal to bitwise OR equal to bitwise XOR equal to bitwise right shift equal to bitwise right shift zero fill equal to. Now totally see these are 11 compound assignment operators. So you can understand that there are totally 12 assignment operators. This is one, these are 11, totally 12 number, always you remember. And one more thing also tell you, with the same spirit you may you may remember some other also compound assignment operators. For your information, Java does not support this one. That means what is this operator? Conditional logical and equal to, this is not there. Just you remember, sometimes most times we remember positively, sometimes you have to remember which you should not do, which are not supported also you have to remember. Otherwise in a particular juncture you are confused. That's why this is not there. Java does not support this. This is conditional logical or equal to, this is not there. And this is a complementary operator in bitwise operators. I am going to explain a little later. This is not there. And these are bitwise operators and even Boolean logical operators, these are there. And this is not there. And one more thing, already explained, this is unary incrementation operator, this is not there. Unary decrementation operator, this is not there. So you must remember these 5 operators are not supported by Java. Okay. And next one, what is the functionality of the compound assignment operator? Simple way. Now these are also called shorthand operators. We write shorthand code. Now you see A is equal to A plus 10. In this way normally you write. Now this can be written like this, plus equal to 10. In the same way, A minus equal to 10. What is this meaning? A is equal to A minus 10. In the same manner, A multiplication equal to 10. What does it mean? A is equal to A into 10. In the same manner, you can interpret all other operators also. So these are called compound assignment operators or shorthand operators. Okay. And thereafter, one very important concept I have to tell you. And actually when assignment is being made, actually we write variable and expression we write. Then expression is first evaluated and then it is assigned. Already I told you. Actually the compiler was designed in such a fashion the types of the two should be the same, should be uniform. Suppose if it is int, this is int, this should be int. But many times we assign different values also to suppose the int value too long or int value to float. Like this we make. In this context, you must remember one thing. Compiler does not know how it happens, how it executes. Then if both sides are one and same, suppose int type value is assigned, this is int type, then automatically compatible. Compiler knows about this operation, it is executed. When problem comes, now the variable is long type and this is int type. Then what happens? Actually the assignable value is inferior to this type, then the inferior one is first promoted to superior one, that is int is promoted to a long, then only it is assigned. So that always you remember that. So this is long and this is long. Then compiler knows about it. It can assign some type of value to the same type of value. So this is inferior and this is superior. First, before being assignment is made, this is promoted as long. Then promoted as long means this int is stored in 4 bytes. The promoted to long means it is stored in 8 bytes, that is promotion. Thereafter it is assigned. Now by considering these examples, you can thoroughly understand which are the legal assignment and which are the illegal assignments. Now int versus int, compiler knows it, this is legal, perfectly legal. Now long versus int, actually int 4 bytes, long 8 bytes. So equal, okay, bigger also okay. You can put small box in big box, there is no problem. So automatic conversion, it is promoted as long, first it is promoted as long, thereafter it is assigned. So this is also long. And float versus int, next int 4 bytes and float also 4, but format is different. Suppose if you assign 2, because of float its format is converted into 2.0. So this is also first int is promoted as float, then it is assigned. A double versus float, float 4 bytes and double 8 bytes. So first float is promoted as double, then assigned. Here also automatic conversion happens and all that. We need not think of. Next, float versus long. Actually, for long is 4 bytes, float is 4 bytes. In this case, what happens? Long is assigned to float. Long is first promoted as a float, then is assigned. So suppose a long value, let us say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now because of this assignment, it is converted into floating format. Next, long versus float. Actually here one very important point we have to tell you, both are 4, but only thing is float's format is different. Suppose if it is 1, 2.3, actually in a long 0.3 cannot be stored because its format is different. So only 12 is stored. 3 is not stored. It is automatically truncated. These points you have to remember. These are all automatic type conversions. When you are assigning to equal sized data type or bigger data type, automatic conversions happens. And always you remember, in a bigger box we can put the smaller box, but in a smaller box, bigger box we cannot insert. So here see, this is not possible. Int long, because long is bigger. Here demotion is not there, so then it is illegal and error will come. Float double, double is 8 bytes and float is 4 bytes, it is not possible. And int float, int float, int is 4 bytes and float is 4 bytes. Actually when we do that, no error will come, but the problem is whatever value is there, it is truncated. It is truncated, 0.34 is truncated. And long double, obviously you know that it is 8 bytes and 4 bytes, so it is not possible. In this context, one very important point, which is a common error committed by many people, you have to understand. Now int a is equal to 12.3, you have written, whether it is executed or not. In this context, you must remember one fact. Actually 12.3 is the floating point literal. The default type of floating point literal means is double. That means this value you have written, where it is stored? It is stored in 8 bytes floating format, that is double. How can you store double value into this? That's why error will come. So in these cases what should you do? In this case we have to make the typecasting. As the last topic of this chapter, I will explain you typecasting. These are automatic type conversion is applicable to them. Automatically compiler will make the type conversion, but in this case explicit type conversion is required. Explicit type conversion is called typecasting. Now what you can do in this case, suppose if you want to make it legal, what should you do? Int 12.3. If you make, then what happens? It is demoted. Already it is stored in 8 bytes. It is demoted to int. It is reduced to 4 bytes. But then, but 12.3 is not stored in integer format. So 12 is stored. Now S value is 12. So once you understand the typecasting concept, then you can understand this one better. And as the last topic, I am going to explain this concept very well. And now only I have to give you, by using compound assignment operators, sometimes where typecasting is required, by avoiding that also you can make the transaction legal. Simple example you remember, and this is long A is equal to 100. Okay, int B is equal to 10. Okay, now what you are doing, B is equal to A into B you are making. Then what is its type? A long into this is B int. Long versus int becomes long. Where you want to store that? In int you want to store. So bigger 8 bytes value you want to store in 5 bytes, 4 bytes. So it is not possible. So then error will come. In order to rectify that, what should we do? Int A into B we have to make, then it is possible. So by using compound assignment operators without doing this typecasting, we can do that. So if you write like this, B is equal to into A. Instead of this, if you write this one, typecasting is not required. Automatically typecasting is being made. This especially you have to remember this point. Otherwise, few simple programs, I suggest you one thing. This type of thing theoretically if you learn, there are chances of forgetting it very easily. And that's why whenever this type of a new point if you encounter, and immediately write the corresponding program. Once corresponding program if you write and see the result, it is 100% registered in the brain. That is the one added advantage of compound assignment operators, means shorthand operators. Now let us consider the demo number 3.9. In this I am explaining the program on Boolean logical operators. Here you see we have defined Boolean expressions, Boolean variables A, B and C, and I assigned values false, false, false. To understand this one, little presence of mind and aptitude are very much required. Now you see, I explain them, keenly follow. A are equal to true. Now you know that A's value is false, and here what is the meaning of that? A are true, A's value is false, and this is true. Now false are true, you know that are, this is true, and because of that the result is true, and A's value is true. This you remember. A's value is true. Next one, B XR equal to A. B is false and B is false and A is true. This value you have to take. Then false XR true. Then what is the principle? In case of XR, one operand is true, the result is true. Then a result is true. As a result of that, B's value is true. Now what is the status? A's value is true, B's value is true, C remains same, that is false. Okay. Next, let us come to the third one. C and R AB. AB is the single expression. So I put it in parenthesis. So now C is originally false and here C and A or B. A or B, you know that those are in parenthesis. That's why first we evaluate them, true versus true, then that is true. This is C is false, you know, and false and true. Then the result is false. Then C is equal to, still it is remaining as false. So A is true, B is true, C is still it is false. Next, let us come to next expression. C is equal to C and A or B. Okay, now C's value is false, A's value is true, and B's value is true. Now we see C a false and a true. False. Next, false or true, that is true. The result is true. So now C's value becomes true. A's value is true, B's value is true, and C's value is also true. So in this manner, you have to analytically perform this thing, and the presence of mind and aptitude are very much required to tackle this type of programs.